Good masters, sweet ladies. Dang, da, 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 dang, da, 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 dang. Beep, second time, second try. Hi guys, and welcome to a new episode on this channel. And today we will be talking about Good Masters and Sweet Ladies by Laura Amy Schlitz. And this is going to be an interesting day because of everything that has happened. The one thing I know is about the Middle Ages, and that's what history is usually commonly referred to. I'm guessing that because of that, there is a lot to talk about today, and for all the subjects we have, we can only talk about a few, but those are the main points that I'm going to be talking about today. So let's get started. Firstly, main points. There is one thing that I've been able to detect here, and in the foreword, which I did read it, unlike many people who most likely skip it. It's not very important, it won't really affect the reading of the rest of the book. But anyways, I read it, and it was written that Laura Amy Schlitz was a librarian when she first wrote this book. It was originally supposed to be a play for her young students at Park School, where she worked as a librarian. And she found out that they were learning about the Middle Ages, and they were going at it with like hammers and tongs and making catapults and trying to tend herbs and then composing music. Yeah, worst medieval music ever. Everything I do is actually I call the worst. Anyways, and she decided that she wanted them to have something to perform, and so that's what she did. Not exactly the way you might think of how she would, about how she would probably try to get them to perform. It's just that one thing is very unclear here. Whether or not that this is just to be agreed upon. Because from what I know, that this book was originally written to be monologues. Because if she tried to write a big play, then there would have to be small parts and the star parts, and no one really wanted the small parts, and everyone seriously wanted the star parts. So she decided that she would write 19 monologues and 2 dialogues for at least 3 minutes each, and 3 minutes for 2 people. There are only 2 dialogues, so that would mean 6 minutes for both of the dialogues. Not each, both of them combined. And that would get us, wait a second, 63. And then again, that's what seriously distorted this whole thing in the first place. The most important part is that she decided to write it in this way for all the children, each about 17 in each class, to perform. And nowadays, all of her works written for children, plays, are now performed with professional actors in professional theaters. But let's move on, because we're getting into the introduction too much. It is set in this manner in 1255, an English manner. And this is just a story about a lot of medieval children, since children were performing them. And these stories particularly have some connections to each other. Other than the dialogues, 2 characters have connections to each other. Like Hugo and Taggart meet together in Taggart's story, and Taggart just reveals that Hugo is who she loves at first sight. The Edgar and Simon are connected because Edgar is Simon's falconer, and it's just talking. And in Edgar's story, he talks about trying to lose the falcon that he was really attached to. Pierce and Marriott and Maud were both dialogues, who were connected together because Marriott and Maud were willing to marry Pierce, except for Marriott, who eventually realized that she was like, I hated Pierce. And, well then, actually Marriott would marry him. And Maud hated trying to marry Pierce, and she would refuse, even if her father made her do it. And then Marriott, if she had to, would actually marry Pierce, or wed him, at least. And that's how these 2 stories of stray people are connected together, because they're both with the glassblowers. Pierce is the glassblower's apprentice, and Marriott and Maud is the glassblower's daughters. And Gil's is just basically a one story. He's not connected to any of them. He just tries. He's like here and here and here as Soul feet and slams down. Then his father comes and like gets fake holy water, pours it onto his feet, and then he like moves up and walks again. While everyone else just pays them a lot, he quickly runs away. And that happens after they come town to town to town to town. And back then, medieval people were very, very, very intrigued by relics. And if they did do magical things, then they were said to be relics. Even if the actual people who tried to heal or do magical things made sure that it was all a performance, and most likely they knew that this was all fake. Unless they were like, this has to be real, and without a performance, they like try to pour it and then realize it's not real, that all this magic stuff is not real. That's still weird though, to be honest. But that's basically what Good Masters and Sweet Ladies are. And it does deserve the 2008 Newbery Medal winner. Newbery Medal. At least it's something to do with this. There's a lot about this and a lot about the words that these medieval people used back then. And right now, that's all I can talk about Good Masters and Sweet Ladies. I do not want to spoil any of the book as more than I just did. So, yeah, that's about it. Yeah, that's it. Hope to see you guys in the next episode. And see you guys in the next episode. I will. And also, read the English literature. All the English literature.